Hi there, and welcome to this SaaS website copy review, where we're going to use examples to help SaaS companies improve their website copy using brief website reviews. So let's jump in. So this is Sensible Surveys. It is a company I have some involvement with, but this copy was written years ago. I was not involved in that. I don't know the rationale for why certain decisions were made. So I'm viewing it somewhat as an outsider. So let's see what was done well and what was not. And by the way, I'm not going to be commenting on visual design at all, just the copy. So here at the top, I'm seeing that we make complex surveys simple. Okay, we try to specify a little bit about the target audiences. We play up the benefits that these are easy to manage surveys and they are simple to complete. So simple for your participants to complete. And here's what you can do with the system. You can send complex surveys, analyze data, and distribute results. All right, so it appears at first that this did a decent job telling me what the system does, what the benefits are, and who it's for. However, I see down below that we start talking about wage and benefits surveys specifically. So it's given that that's the niche of this company, obviously you want to be talking about wage and benefits surveys up here in the header so that right away people know they're in the right place. It's a huge selling point that this system is developed for that very specific niche. Let's play it up front and center immediately. Also for SEO purposes, obviously you want to have that in your H1. And also, even though it says who it's for, government and business is not very specific, particularly since we're talking about wage and benefits surveys. If we want to mention our target audiences here to assure people that we're applicable to them, we want to be more specific there. The problem here, or one of them though, is that in terms of the call to action, I would expect to see it right here, but instead I see learn about sensible surveys. And that's a bit mystifying to me because I'm here on the website to learn about sensible surveys. So why would I go someplace else to learn about sensible surveys? And when I do go to that other place, where it takes me is the features page. And I'm not ready for that yet because I barely know what the system is at this point. In terms of a real call to action, I see get started up here at the top. It's not standing out enough. Like I said, it's in kind of, it should be down here. Also get started is wording that I don't love for a call to action. It's too vague. It could, especially with a SaaS system, get started could mean that I enter my credit card and sign myself up and start using the system. That's not what it means here. So we want to be more specific. Moving down, here I'm seeing that we learn about our wage and benefits surveys. Oh, what happened? That whole section was clickable, which is odd. And then I go to another page where I see instead of wage and benefits surveys, we're calling them compensation surveys, just different wording. So at first it makes me think, wait, are we talking about something else? But no, we're talking about the same thing. And instead of making them simple, we're talking about making them sensible, which again, it's not wrong, but it's different. So it gives me this weird feeling like that I'm in a parallel dimension where everything is basically the same, except everyone has beards. It's just kind of, you want to avoid these kinds of weird experiences that make your reader expand mental energy to make sure that they're still on the right track, right? And also here I see us mentioning site selectors. Okay, if that's an important target audience, then it should have been mentioned here on the homepage, but it wasn't. So obviously this section should not be unexpectedly clickable. Then we're talking about it gathering extensive wage and benefits information. Okay, and here we are specific about our target audiences. So that's good. I just don't, I don't know. It doesn't need to be two different places. Do it right in one place, not both. Then I've got here, so simple to manage, simple to complete. I kind of like this because it's reiterating the value proposition here, which is basically that we're making these surveys less burdensome to administer and to fill out. This also is is good text, but it's very hard to read. I think most people will not read it, and that's unfortunate because it's talking about great things like, hey, we give you templates for these complex surveys. Huge selling point. You don't have to start from scratch. Or if you want to do something completely custom, you have that ability too. So this, these little treasures should be in a much more easy to read format, such as bullet points, where you can, scan through what the system does and what the benefits are. Here we've got a step-by-step plan for how to use the system to send your surveys. This is, of course, a good section to have. However, our whole selling point is that we're making these surveys easy to administer, but we've got 5 steps, which makes it not seem so simple. You kind of, the human brain likes threes. I would stick to a 3-step plan. And it will be easy to streamline this to 3 steps. For example, we've got a step here to preview your survey and double check it. If you're sending out very important surveys to other companies without double checking it, this website copy isn't going to save you. So let's eliminate no-brainer steps like that everybody would know to do, and stick to what is important. Also, some of these descriptors are not clear. So choose your survey type. I don't know what that means. Do you do something other than wage and benefits surveys that I could do as well? Let's be really clear here. Let's have some explanatory text, not much, but a sentence or 2 per tile where you go into more depth. And let's also make sure that that explanatory text says what the benefit is of completing that step. For example, we've got modify the survey to meet your needs. So I assume what they're talking about here is that you can use a template and tweak it for your survey. That's, like I said, a huge selling point. So play it up. So don't just tell them to modify the survey template. And for one thing, we need to be specific that we're talking about the survey template here, but don't just tell them to do it, but talk about how easy this step is, given that the system has these pre-built templates. So I hope that's clear. Also, I don't love having 0, 1, 0, 2. It seems overcomplicated. Just keep it simple. Also, these appear to be clickable, but they're not. Moving down, we've got, okay, simple and intuitive design, and then we've got examples of how the system is simple and intuitive. All these are good selling points to play up. I think maybe we could have slightly less text here. Also, some of it is worded a little bit oddly, like a leaving and coming back, no problem. Just need to kind of, to tweak the copy for grammar and clarity in some of these places. Then we have this section, local data you can't get anywhere else. You need local data. To make local decisions, you need local data. Point taken. But I think what this section is trying to do is to address a competing approach, which is that, some people just purchase wage and benefits data and use it instead of running their own survey. And so it's trying to basically make the case that and it's doing this quite indirectly, but it's making the case that if you do that, you won't necessarily have it tied so much to the geography that you're interested in, or maybe you won't be able to ask the right questions to address local concerns that you want to know about. So let's take that piece by piece. So if that's what they're trying to say, let's say it more clearly. Let's have a section about the problems with purchasing the data instead of gathering it yourself. But I actually don't think that's the right thing to do here. I think the competitors that you need to address are other survey platforms. So I think we should be talking about why this system makes things simpler and easier than other online survey systems. I think by the time you're on this website, and especially if you've read this far, you're obviously open to the idea of running your own survey. So show me why it's not going to be a giant pain in the you-know-what to do that. and show me why you're the best online survey platform to help me do that. I don't necessarily need to be sold at this point on the fact that I should run a survey. I'm already here. Now, that said, I don't know how people are getting to this site. There may be certain situations where you would want to back up and make that case. But either way, be clear and make sure that you're centering around one focal problem. And since they've already made the choice to center around the problem that these surveys are hard to administer, our survey system makes them simpler. That's the story I would tell throughout. Anything else kind of seems like a deviation, and it just makes me kind of take a step back, like, what are you trying to convince me of here? I was already on your side. Then we've got lists of customers. This section seems kind of lonely, kind of a little bit orphaned, because what I would expect to go with it would be a little bit about the company. In this case, this company has a very interesting origin story because it originated that we were collaborating with an economic developer and they had certain needs that no other systems would meet. And so we built this specifically with them, by and with them. And that's neat. I mean, it shows that we really have a connection to this audience. So I wouldn't go on and on about it, but I would at least say a little bit and what year we were founded, just enough to show that we're credible and we understand this target market. And by the way, having a problem section where you talk about the major problems with your competitors, that also goes a long way to showing that you belong in this space, you understand what they're going through and you can address it. Then this is the end. So complex surveys descend and don't know where to start. I like that. I mean, that kind of sums up the message with a bow on it. And then here we've got a good call to action. Schedule a demo, very specific. I know what that means. And it's also more appealing than certain other calls to action, like talk to sales. You don't want to talk to a salesman unless you have to usually. So scheduling a demo, frankly, sounds a lot more fun and interesting, at least to me personally. And the main point here, though, is that it's specific. You're asking people to do exactly what you want them to do. It should not be hard to find, like that. You shouldn't have to wait till the end to be able to get the ball rolling and get them engaged. Okay, I hope that seeing this example and some of the strengths and weaknesses of this particular site can help other companies to also take a fresh look at their promo website and see, is it as clear and compelling as it could be? If it was helpful, please let me know in the comments. Please let me know what insights you gleaned from this. And we will keep doing these and talk next time. Like and subscribe for more.